lifted up his eyes, being in torments, plural, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. This man, when he died, he found himself in a very real place that we know as hell. Hell resides and is created in the abode of the dead. The rich man was fully conscious when he arrived there. He discovered that he had an existence after his death. He was fully conscious. He was not sleeping. He was not unaware, but his mind was conscious that he was in a place. He found himself in a place that Jesus called Hades. Now, Hades is really a Greek term, and the Hebrew counterpart for Hades is Sheol. Hades and Sheol, they represent the abode of the dead, irrespective of their of righteousness or irrespective of the fact that they had not known they were unrighteous. Hades and Sheol is the place where the dead reside, and they are awaiting a day of judgment. Well, we discover in other places in the Bible, but in Luke particularly, chapter 16, that Hades and Sheol was divided into two compartments. Lazarus, here we saw, was taken by the angels, and following his death to the compartment of the righteous, which was in the bosom of Abraham. Now, the Hebrews, they also called this paradise, this compartment. And the rich man, after his death, found himself in the compartment we know as hell. Now, in the Hebrew, it is called Gehenna. Gehenna is from the valley of Hinnom, which is just outside of Jerusalem, and it was a local trash dump. In our day, as in their day, trash was being burned every time. There was a continual fire that was going on in this ash heap. There was smoldering fires that were coming from this place, Gehenna, or the valley of Hinnom, which was the local trash dump. Now, this became synonymous with the abode of the unrighteous, or the dead, called hell or Gehenna. Now, some people may say, well, I don't believe in hell. It doesn't matter what you believe, or whether you believe it's real or not. Jesus taught it. He even spoke of it. And from what I understand, he spoke of it more than any other preacher has spoke about it in any point of time. But it is a real place. And the moment after the lost person passes through the portals of death, they discover that hell is a very, very real place. But Jesus also talks about the lost person, that they discover that they have a memory while they are in hell. In chapter 16 of verse 25, it says this. Let's read verse 23 for a moment through 25. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom, and cried out and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things, but now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. Notice that Abraham calls upon the rich man in hell to remember his days on earth. He can remember the circumstances of his life. He can remember the events of his life. He is fully able to communicate those memories as well. So he is fully conscious, and he's fully able to remember and to call into remembrance those things which he did while he was on this earth.